Sunday's loss was on Mike Zimmer, and no, we're not talking about the decision to go for an fourth and inches from the Seattle Six. We're not talking about that. In fact, I love that. I actually loved that Zim went YOLO, going for it on multiple fourth downs. You play to win the game. Vikings gain a yard, they win going away. I get it. So again, this is not about that call. Respect that call, but it's basically everything else that led up to that call, and then everything afterwards. Because Madison, like we said on that call, frankly, if you would just went outside of CJ Ham's right butt cheek, Vikings win the game, and we're all happy and all celebrating, right? But also, the whole 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, Dalvin failed to pick that up twice, so it's not like Seattle wasn't ready for it. Sure. And also, kicking the field goal in that spot when you're up 5. That's just playing for the tie. No, it is not. Right? You're ratcheting up the difficulty level and leaving yourself not open to losing. That's basically what you're doing. It's like, you're playing for the tie. Well, first off, kick the field goal. It's like a 26-yarder. No, it's less than that. 23-yarder, whatever. And then kickoff, they get the ball at the 25. We'll say it's touchback, sure. And then they have to march 75 yards in under 2 minutes, a minute 50 or whatever. And then they have to hit the 2-point conversion, which has been hit at 47.7% rate since 2001. So if they have to do all of that. Is that playing for the tie? No, not really. So, again, I do respect that 4th down call. Play to win the game. You get it. Now, I can question the 3rd and 4 reverse to Thielen, which Thielen almost had that. Whoever made the tackle on that, I think it was the linebacker, made a hell of a play on Thielen. But you do question that. So, Madison and Boone are just punching the Seahawks defense right in the throat, and then you just pull that out on 3rd and 4. Okay, sure, again. But Zimmer did make some pretty glaring errors in both the Vikings and Titans games that snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, because both games were lost, and there was shenanigans at the end of the game because Zimmer was chasing points way too early, and also his defense, because, again, he is... I think as of right now, he's the only head coach who calls defensive plays, and there's a reason for that, and... Yeah, the defense has been a train wreck throughout the majority of the season. They played a much better game for most of the game on Sunday night, and then just like... So who is that on? I mean, who is that on? If one side of the ball, which the head coach focuses on, is extremely deficient, whose fault is that? And also, so the whole chasing points thing. Now, I know the whole new wave, Doug Peterson, economist thing is always go for 2, blah, 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 YOLO. But you look in the Tennessee game, so the Vikings score, making it 30-25. Zimmer goes for 2, trying to make it a 7-point game, so a touchdown. There's 10 minutes and 22 seconds left to go. That's still a lot of time. There's still 4 possessions left in that game, 2 each side. Don't go for 2 until you have to. Despite what Bill Barnwell says, right? 6 is still a key number. I mean, there's a reason why when you score and you're up 4, you go for 2, because 6 is worth more than 5. #math. Right? And then his defense allows Tennessee to march down the field twice, kick 2 field goals from Steven Gostkowski, and win. Right? So, yeah, Gostkowski, like the decrepit corpse of Gostkowski, all of a sudden goes, 6 for 6 or 5 for 5 in that game? Just completely ridiculous, right? Sunday night against the Sea Chickens. So the Vikings score a touchdown with Thielen, first one, making it Seattle 21, Vikings 19. Now, Zimmer goes for 2, trying to tie the game with 3 minutes, 39 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. It is way too soon. And then also, of course, the call was Cousins on a draw. Now, obviously, Zimmer isn't calling offensive plays, but yeah, it is what it is, right? So there's still 6 possessions left in this game, 3 apiece. 7 if you count whatever that last possession was. Kick the field goal or kick the extra point and be down 1 point. You can do that, right? So frankly, actually, it's more infuriating that they didn't go for 2 after the second touchdown when it was 25-21. Trying to make it a 6-point game as opposed to a 5-point game. But I digress there. But kicking the point after, it changes that dynamic for the rest of the game if they did that after the first Thielen touchdown, because then you're up 27-21. And then when you have the ball, 4th down, 4th and goal, 4th and inches from the 6-yard line, And then all of a sudden, if you kick that field goal, you're up, beep, bop, 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 boop, you're up 9 points, which is a 2-possession game. So, I mean, you can let Russ march all he wants. He can do everything but the winning percentage of that is extremely low. In fact, the Vikings may have had like 99.999% if they were up by 9 in that spot. But instead, you go for it. Again, I respect that decision. This is not criticizing that decision. Just didn't make it happen. And then it was your defense, your precious defense, who let Russ march 94 yards in a minute 57, including a 4th and 10 as well as a 4th and goal, which, it would have been kind of nice after Seattle came out with their personnel, they showed what formation they were in, then just take a little time out, talk it over with your extremely young defense. Maybe Cameron Dantzler, just maybe a little bit in over his head at that point, and the 4th and 10 or the 4th and goal, and just taking that time out and talk over what was the ball game. Like, those 2 plays were the ball game. And I get it. You want to take those timeouts with you. Like, at the end of the game, your leftover timeouts you can cash in for like a Ponderosa gift card or something. Or, yeah, I get it. You were trying to save them for if they did score, which they probably were going to, save them for Kirk and this 15 seconds of miracleness, right? So I sort of understand that, but bro, that's your defense. Your defense was out there to win a game. You could have took a timeout to talk it over on 4th and 10, right? And also this is just another game where, hey, great first half plan, but then 0 halftime adjustments and just getting absolutely coached by Pete Carroll and company. 21 points given up in under 2 minutes, start the third quarter. And I know, like, Zimmer didn't coach Dalvin's groin to have a tweak, but there's just so many soft skills and game management skills that come to being a head coach that Zimmer simply has not picked up on in 7 years. He just has not. And I understand that Zimmer is basically unfireable with that 3-year lucrative extension, but he's really testing these premises because the Vikings are 1-4. It's a horrible start. They should be 3-2. And again, the most infuriating thing about it is that this team has talent. This team is not Washington. This team is not the Giants or the Jets or even the Falcons. Like, this team has talent up and down all the lines except for Drew Samia. And it just, then whose fault is it? Like, if your players have talent, they show up to play, they have a great game plan, and then everything else just falls flat, especially on the defense, especially with managing the clock. Whose fault is that? I know that Zimmer doesn't take blame on anything, but if it literally is game management, if it literally is defense, who's to blame for both of those? It's one guy who just got a big-ass contract. But again, the Vikings have fired a coach with 3 years left on his deal before. Brad Childress 2010, but we'll see. All right, so your thoughts. Zimmer's fault. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull some in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.